Welcome to the Rod Sports with Rod, and I got a special guest today. You know what I mean? I got C Wells there today. Got No Slack in the Swac, Jamie G on, man. Go ahead, tell people, man, especially Jamie G. I let Jamie G go first. Tell the people,
Hey,
man.
what's good? It's your boy Jamie G, host of the No Slack in the Swag podcast. Checking in with my boy Rod Isaac and my boy Coach C Wills down here.
Oh man, hey,
Man, it's been an interesting. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, man, I'm
Go ahead,
here,
C Wells.
man, ready to do this. I'm just ready to make this happen, man.
So,
Let's
make
talk a little swag.
man, how y'all feel about Swac week number 2, man? What's some games y'all was excited for and they didn't pan out to y'all likings, man?
I let Charles go
Um,
first.
all right. So a game I thought would be a lot better than it was the Mississippi Valley Austin P game. Valley, man,
Woo!
they didn't do anything. I thought they would at least be able to get a little something going offensively. Um, I like Jelani Easton, man, but he's not the guy at quarterback. They need some help at quarterback. They got a couple guys. I'm surprised they really didn't give Jamari Jones any run yet. I think he was like the number one JUCO quarterback coming out last season. And been getting no time on the field, so hopefully that'll change. But other than that, I was impressed with Prairie View. I thought they played a pretty decent game up until that fourth quarter, and they fell apart.
Man, I liked it Crawley. I thought Crawley looked good too, man. The Alabama State, man. I think Crawley looked pretty decent, man. I don't know why people
Yeah,
got all high on the super athlete they got now, but I like the Crawley. Crawley looked all right to me.
yeah, he played pretty well. He started a few games last season too before he got a little banged up toward the end of the season. So he got the tools to do it. A lot of people are like Demetrius Davis because he come in with a lot of hype. He's a 4-star guy. So people really want to see what he can do. But I think if Crawley is the guy, then you got to go with him. I think you got to go with the guy to give you the best chance.
For me,
What about
I thought the
yeah, go
FAMU.
ahead.
Yeah, for me, I thought the FAMU uh, Albany State game would have been a whole lot. I thought it would have been a blowout, but it turned out to be a whole lot closer than what I expected it to be. I don't know. I guess FAMU still having a few problems on offense to get it
Mm-hmm,
going because that's a Division II team, and they shouldn't be
mm-hmm.
struggling like that. They should at least blew them out at least by 30, 40 points. And I was quite surprised that they didn't do that. And also the Jackson State Tennessee State game. I think Jackson State left almost like 30 some plus points on the field, man. They made a lot of mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
turnovers, not catching the ball. It seemed like they weren't locked in this past Saturday. But if they play like that against Gremlin, they may be in trouble.
Man, I just really think about that game, man. I think they didn't call a couple things, man. You can't tell me Kevin Coleman didn't get hold. That motherfucker DB wasn't looking back at all. I mean, that should have been a touchdown, man. But my biggest thing about that line, man, is Evan Henry. I don't think, man, he's a holder. You know what I mean? You expected. I thought he was going to be much, you know what I mean, sound technically. You know what I mean? But he getting beat on the line every time, man. You know what I mean? And he goes through holding. That's his, you know what I mean? That's his saving grace to hold people. Man, I feel like I gotta take him out the lineup, man.
Now
You gotta take him out the lineup.
it seemed like the whole classic, and this was the last classic until they figure out, what they want to do when it comes to getting paid. But everything was totally
Mm-hmm,
terrible about it. Even the stream, even to the referees. This probably had to be
mm-hmm,
one of the most strangest classes ever. Because I mean, JSU really should have had that game. It should have been over in the second
mm-hmm.
quarter.
Should have been.
Well,
Um, but I
Yeah,
it's definitely some bright spots. Savion Wilkerson should start every game till he get hurt. You
big
got to
facts.
start that boy, man. You got to start him. You know what I mean?
I
I like
really don't.
Santi. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I really don't know. Not in practice, so I really don't know. But I'm surprised he wasn't starting from day one. I mean, that who got the credentials, he can play. He is the best back on the roster as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know if he's not doing, what all need to be done every day. But you got to get that guy touches, man. He gonna make the offense go. I've been saying that since preseason. A guy like that, you gotta let him touch the ball. Like you say, Santi Marshall, he's a good kid, man, New Orleans guy. So I'm always cool for those guys. But Wilkerson is the
He's
guy.
too small.
I think he
He's
needs
too
touches.
small, man. He's too small, man, to be every down back. He's too small, man.
Oh yeah, that's definitely size matters if you're gonna give him multiple carries over and over. So a guy that's used to toting that load is the guy that I think you should go to.
I don't understand why Jackson State is really trying to run him in between the tackles because it seems like he has more success when he runs to the outside and on swing passes and screens. So I don't understand why they do that, but I agree with Rod. I think Savion Wilkerson is your back, and he should get more carries. I also like J.D. Martin, too, coming out of the backfield as well. I mean, Jackson State really loaded it running back. It's pretty much any of those running backs behind Wilkerson also could be a starter.
And I didn't like how they didn't use the tight ends this week, man. That was my biggest gripe about them. You got all them fucking tight ends. Why you not using none of them tight ends? You got DJ Stevenson, the boy from Marshall. Why you not using none of them tight ends?
Yeah, and then the Orange
You
Blossom
used
Classic
against
uses tight ends
FAMU.
like crazy. So I think sometimes them OCs, man, they call themselves looking at matchups, but you got to go with the weapons regardless. You make a team take something away from you, you don't take it away from yourself. So hopefully, Grambling gonna come at them. Grambling got an aggressive defense, so I really look for the tight ends to get involved big time this week, though.
Yeah, coach. Hey, look, I didn't understand why they didn't use that tight end swing out screen play that they ran
Mm-hmm.
against FAMU on the goal line. That
Mm-hmm.
probably was one of the best plays I've seen out of Jack State in a while.
But I like that boy Hayden in the backfield as a fullback. Use that too. You know what I mean? Use him as a fullback. It's a lot of things you can do with them tight ends, man. They're not using them. But
Yeah.
for you know what I mean, for it to be about to be week 3, man, I like Brett Bertoloni's play calling. So he's way better than what they had last year. We can say that easily.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I think though for him, being new there, I think it's a case of he got so many toys in the box, he don't really know what to do. So hopefully, as the season goes on these next couple of weeks, he realizes, I need to get the ball to this group for sure. My receivers are gonna, that's gonna open up more space for them because safeties and linebackers got to worry about your tight ends. So you're really helping your offense. I mean, I love tight ends. So I'm from Southern, so we use 3 tight ends. I like tight ends, so I love to see them touch the ball as much as they can.
I was kind of disappointed in Dallas Daniels. I thought this was going to be really his breakout game. I see he dropped a few passes, and that's
But that
kind
Shane
of
Hook fumble was the most disturbing thing, man. Go down, man.
right.
You ain't Megatron. Go down, man.
Yeah, you don't always have to make the play. You take what you get and live to fight another day.
I really want to know what's happened with Malachi Whiteman. Like he had 12 touchdowns last year. What happened to him?
I think he played a few snaps last game, but I think the main reason was his academics. He had to get
Mm.
all his academics catch because in the spring he was academically ineligible, so that's why he couldn't practice with the team until this summer. So he basically lost his position and had to earn it back. So I think the grades was kind of one of the reasons he didn't make the FAMU trip either.
That's what this guy said.
Not even
He
quite as
said
kept,
Prime
but
going to feed what he
Graves
loves, his son and his receivers. Running backs, tight ends will be. What do you say? I agree with that. But go ahead, see what you said.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you know anything about Malachi Wideman, Graves was an issue at Tennessee, and so he's a guy that really gotta lock in on them books, man, and get himself straight because he's a guy you want on the field. He's a matchup problem. He athletic. He can jump out the stadium. You want that guy on the field, so he needs to really lock in and do what he need to do, get himself straight. Because like you say, he causing himself playing time, big time like that.
What you think about Alcorn in the Tulane game, Charles? I was kind of surprised that Alcorn didn't even put up any points against them. I mean, when I look at the offensive stats, man, it was terrible. I believe it actually just shut Alcorn out, and I was quite surprised they couldn't get the running game going nor the passing game. It was just a complete blowout. I was quite shocked. I thought they would have been competitive in it.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they at least couldn't move the ball at all. They couldn't run, they couldn't throw. A couple of people that was there said they just ran, the same play pretty much over and over. Not really. I don't know. I really expected more from Alcorn in this game. I didn't think they would win, but I thought they would be competitive and put up some points. Because Tulane's not a good team. They were a 2-10 team last year, and they not the most physical team, but they locked Alcorn down, and they just I don't know. I thought they could put on a better performance, but it just didn't happen.
Maybe they left all their last week performance in Stephen F. Austin. Maybe they left their spirit in Lorman.
Maybe they did, but they better pick it up because they got to go to McNeese on Saturday.
And that's
I think that, man. I think McNeese is gonna tear him up, man. I think McNeese is gonna throw a 40 piece on him.
But last time though, Ryan, when Alcorn did play McNeese, they almost beat them actually in Lorman one year.
They don't got Felix Harbor no more. Felix Harbor's not there no more.
That's a fact.
That's a different Alcorn team.
I will say it's different in Lake Charles. I'm just gonna say when you go to McNeese, it's different though. It's kind of like going to Lorman. The things don't always go your way; it go their way. So they better be locked in because, like you said, new quarterback. They still got guys that can make plays, but McNeese on like their third coach in like 3 years or 3-4 years. So their system constantly been changing, and every year they different. So they're always dangerous. I mean, they 12-0 against the SWAC in their history. So somebody got to beat them.
Let me ask you this: is Cody Ogeron still there as quarterback?
No, I think he gone. I think he was a senior last year. That kid wasn't nothing special, man. I watched him play 2 years. He wasn't nothing special. I don't like to knock a player, a college player, but he wasn't nothing special as a quarterback.
Man, but we also got to talk about, man, Alabama A&M might be 0-3 this year. that's a big storyline right there. They're gonna be 0-3.
They will be 0-3 because Austin Peay, man, they got some weapons on that team, man. I watched the Mississippi Valley game. They got some receivers that can go up and get it. Their defense was aggressive. Alabama A&M, they got to strap it up, man, and because it's gonna be a war because Austin Peay is hungry. I mean, they almost beat Western Kentucky, so they no joke. They better come to play. That's a tough game.
Who you got?
Hey,
who
did you see
both y'all think who you think is gonna start? Quincy Casey or the other guy? Who y'all think gonna start? Before you go, man, Jamie.
Oh yeah. For me, I think. I was going to say. Did Cwell see that? I think Valley had 5 sacks against Austin Peay, which I
Oh
thought
yeah.
that was they did pretty good on defense, because I actually thought they were going to actually lose worse than what they did, but they actually held it pretty good on defense. They just can't get it going. Offense definitely with Jelani Easton, I just don't believe he's going to be the quarterback, and I don't understand why Danson won't make that change, man.
Yeah, he got to make the change. But Ronnie Thomas, Mississippi Valley, man, that dude's a monster on the D line. Jalen Bell, both of those guys, they racked up some plays on the defensive line. But as far as Alabama and them, I don't know, man. They Langford is more of a runner. Casey, we know he got the big arm. Neither one of them got like a lot of experience, but I guess, I mean, for what Maynard like to do, I still go with Quincy Casey. I just think he probably runs that offense better. But this will be their first time against an FCS team too, so maybe these guys are looking a little bit better.
Well, you already know I'm always been a Quincy Casey guy since he was at JSU, but I think Casey just need a little bit more time to play, because he's gonna have to grow and mature. Because actually, to be honest, he hadn't played any ball in almost 2 years. Seemed like it.
Yeah, he didn't play at all last year, and he played. He played like 1 or 2 games in the spring, and then none at all last season. So he don't have a lot of experience. He's a guy that got the potential, but he don't got the experience. So you got to give him a chance. You kind of got to let him work through his problems.
Man, then I watched that over the weekend. I don't know if y'all watched it, man. The A&T beatdown, man. I turned it off, man. That was bad, man. That was a bad beatdown. Did y'all watch that bad beatdown, man?
I watched it, and it got ugly before halftime. I had to just turn it off. I mean, what you expect? I mean, that team physical, man. When you have that O line and that D line, I mean, you gonna win that all the majority of the time. I think that's what win majority of football games is plays in the trenches. And they got a 3-headed monster at running back. Cause them fullbacks and them halfbacks man, they some beasts, man.
I thought about calling Al Sharp.
Throw the ball much.
I thought about calling Al Sharp in the Black Lives Matter movement because it was getting bad, man.
But
it was getting bad.
When you go in that dome in Fargo, man, you got to understand it's 19,000 people every week. It don't matter who they playing, they always there, and they gonna get after you, man. They gonna run the ball at you all day. That offensive line gonna lean on you. The defense they're gonna be stout, and it's the pressure is on you to make plays. You can't turn the ball over. You got to make plays because they gonna do what they do. That's a lot of pressure for a team that that's not consistent offensively like A&T was this season so far. That's a recipe for disaster going up there, man. You are gonna lose big if you fall behind up there.
But another thing, man, that motherfucker Jalen Jones, man. This switch positions already, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad he transferred out of JSU, man, because he could even beat out, you know what I mean? He could even beat Sunshine out. You know what I mean? He could even beat you see how he was throwing that ball, man? It was terrible, man. You know what I mean? It was terrible.
You kind of know what you're gonna get from him. You got to cater to what he does. You can't. And I didn't really like their game plan in that game because I watched a good bit of that game. You have to, it's gonna be a physical game against South Carolina State. You can't just sit back there and have a guy like that just chunk throwing the ball all over the field. You got to, if you use the RPO, you got to do something with him to give him the chance to use his legs because his legs are gonna make his arm better. And he just didn't have it. He didn't get that much action, but I like Walter Simmons at Bethune-Cookman. I think he went to transfer from East Carolina. He's a guy that another dual threat guy. He had some limited action Saturday. He looked pretty good, but the other guy they played, he didn't look too good either. So, and I think that job is still going to be wide open for them.
I know who's going to be on the hot seat.
Who?
Bethune's coach.
Terry. I don't think they're going to do nothing with no Terry, man. They don't want to pay for nobody. Who want to go there? Nobody want to take that job.
I think the money is what keeps him now. You know, if he wins in November in Orlando, then everything is forgiven. You know, Bethune-Cookman, you know, they are what they are. I don't think they necessarily on the hot seat. But if they have another season like they did last year, I think some people are gonna want him out. But I don't know if he's gonna really be on the hot seat yet. But you know, stranger things have happened.
I think A&T, man, gonna fire that coach, man. What y'all feel about that, man?
I think, you know, last season, you know, they were not that good. This season, they don't look that good. And next season, they're going into the Colonial, which, you know, that conference is tough. So if he don't straighten it up, it's not going to be pretty. Losing the North Carolina Central don't help. And looking bad, looking like they did this week, that don't help. It's possible. I know a lot of people are not happy with him. I don't know if his track record could buy him a little bit more time, but I think some people want him gone for sure.
I think Maynard going. I feel like that's the next move for Maynard to go A&T, man. I don't think this is going to work out well for him, man. And Alabama, A&M, I feel like they're going to release him soon, man.
But that is home for him. He played at A&T, so you know that's the next logical step.
Have we talked about UAPB?
Oh, I didn't even watch that game. Go ahead. Give me a pine buff. I don't even watch it. Go ahead.
That game, man. There ain't too much to say about that game. I'm just glad they did not let them people score because they gave up 42 points to Lane, and Lane got shut out this week by Benedict. So, you know, you can't give up 42 points to a D2 team. Then they turn around the next week and get shut out by a team in their own conference. So, Pablo still got some questions. Doc Gamble gonna be on a. I keep saying he's gonna be on a hot seat, but I know a lot of Pablo people. They say they don't really get down like that, so he probably gonna be able to ride this on out.
They said that till they start losing.
Man,
yeah, but Pablo's a different beast, though, man. They'll keep you around. They don't care.
What do you think is the biggest problem at Texas Southern right now, man? Man, he this play calling right now is, man, it's making me sick, man. What's going on with you feel like is going on with that offense coordinator and that head coach, man?
Offense, they don't really don't know what they want to do. You know, I don't think they got really good weapons at wide receiver like they thought they did. Those guys dropped a bunch of passes on the offensive line. You know, they haven't been blocking well. So that puts a lot of pressure on the running game. And when you got a quarterback that can run and throw, if your guy's not making plays for him, teams are keying in on it. That's what Prairie View did. They just keyed in on body, and you get him on the ground. He's still a young quarterback. He's gonna make mistakes. So offensive line play is the biggest issue. And then the defense is probably the biggest issue for that team that holds them back because they can't stop anybody. So if you can't stop somebody, that increases your offensive struggles because now you got to try to score every time you got the ball.
I think too another thing that's a problem with Texas Southern is a lot of the team are just true freshmen and sophomores. They just hadn't been able to. They just hadn't matured yet as football players, and they still trying to, learn the game and see how and just learn how to win. But I think they're gonna have to find something else besides Body and Ladarius Owens in their offense, because if you shut down Body and Owens, I mean, that's pretty much win the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize the guys they lost at wide receiver last year. They lost some big time playmakers at that spot, and they still trying to, they lost a guy, Jaron Johnson, who was like a tight end wide receiver type of guy. He blew his knee out in the spring, so that was the guy that they were gonna look at, as their go to guy, and he's not there. So they don't have anybody, at least right now, that can make those plays. So they're gonna have to, like Jamie G said, that's still a young team. Last year they played like 60 freshmen, so that means 60 sophomores. But a lot of it still falls on coaching too. You got to do what your guys do well. Whether it's shorter passes or something, to get the offense going. But to me, they're not gonna do anything until that defense gets better. That defense got to step up, and I've been saying that for a long time. So that's the biggest issue for me.
Man, do you feel like if Florida A&M, don't fit in on the high note, you feel like they can get rid of Cole Simmons?
Oh no. I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, this is kind of like, I think this is going to be a sort of a rebuilding year for FAMU. You got to realize they lost Marquise Bell. They lost, what was the running back name that was cold last year?
Bishop
Barnett. Yeah,
Bishop
they
Barnett.
lost, I think, one of their offensive linemen that was really good. Forbes, wasn't it? Was it Keelan Forbes?
Yeah.
I mean, they lost a pretty good amount of their playmakers last year. Now they replacing. They got like basically brand new running backs and a couple of key pieces in the defense, man. And then I mean, so it really falls on Land and Bowler on the defensive side of the ball, and it falls more so on Xavier Smith, and hopefully if Musa can get going, that's pretty much their team. Seems like it right now.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest loss that FAMU had was on their defensive line, Savion Williams. He was a defensive tackle guy from Tennessee. He was a big body that could command attention, and you need a guy like that. They got Gentle Hunt on a defensive line. That was a good duo, and when you got those kind of guys occupying your line, then guys like Land can eat. So the interior line got to play a little bit tougher. They got to run the ball better. They running game hadn't been good. They didn't play Terrell Jennings, who was their starting running back. He didn't play against Albany State, so I don't know if he banged up or what. But that's that's the key. Because with a young quarterback, you got to run the football and help him get comfortable. You can't just ask him to stand back there and make throws all night, because he's gonna make mistakes, and that line is banged up. So you got to find some kind of way to get the consistency with the run game.
But I think the school is pretty much riding with Willie Simmons, because I mean, the president is he kind of still on that hot seat with when it comes to what he got them into, man. But if FAMU don't have a good year, I I still think Willie Simmons is a great coach, man. He'll find a way to get them to win if they don't be this year.
Let me ask you another question, right? Hypothetical. Let's say next year, next year they get blown out by Jackson State like that again. You think Willie's still there?
I think the questions are gonna start to come in. But personally, I think you're more apt to lose him by him leaving than getting fired, because I know this situation that's going on with that team, with that program. I know they probably don't sit right with a guy like that. So I would, maybe he's not happy at the end of the season. But if he take bad losses like that next year, and the team don't improve at all, then yeah, they're gonna get antsy because FAMU is a proud fan base. They want to win, you know, and they put themselves in a position where they feel like JSU is a rivalry for them, so they don't want to lose that game. And if they lose that game bad 2 years in a row, and basically what 5 years straight, 5 games straight, they lost to JSU, something like that. That's not gonna sit well. So how he finishes this season is probably gonna dictate how they feel about him with that game.
And even though we have won the last 4 seasons, even though even when the season when we were even bad, even I'm gonna just say it here, I'm gonna put it on video. Fam, you losing next year too.
Damn.
I like that. I like that energy, man. I like that.
You're not like Eddie Murray said, you can't beat me.
You know what I mean? And Cwell, I mean this wholeheartedly, man. I feel like y'all the last test for Jackson State. Y'all the last test. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We go.
Southern is the last test.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would, just because it's a rivalry game, I would never count out Alcorn because they got to go to Alcorn, and reservation is strange. So but we should be right there because we got a good set of games in front of us, all winnable. We can come into that game at 5-1, and if our team is playing capable the way we're capable, I think that's gonna be a battle. I like a lot of people. I don't know how many people watched that blowout on Saturday, but we had a horrible first quarter. We fumbled open the kickoff. We threw a pick six in the first quarter. We had a bad quarterback running back exchange for a fumble inside the 25. LSU started off with 2 short fields, and then inside they 45 off a punt, and they blocked the punt. So we did everything that you can do wrong in the first quarter, and I thought we rebounded. We put together a couple of drives in the second quarter. We missed 2 field goals, but we put ourselves in scoring position. And second half we played a little bit better. So we got a couple sacks too, and we ran the ball for over 200 yards against LSU. So we're gonna, Southern's gonna run the football. If you know Southern, they're gonna run, and I think that's gonna make us be okay. So we got a test against TSU this week, but I think the team gonna be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that game in Jackson for sure.
Hey, Will, I'm gonna ask you a question. What test does Southern have coming Saturday? There's no test.
It's a test.
I think
it's a test. I don't know about that, but I think Southern's gonna win. But I think the test for Southern is mental. They need to make sure that they put the LSU game behind them and understand that Texas Southern, they beat us last year. They shouldn't have beat us, but they beat us last year. So we got a lot of guys that are new on the team. I think that's got to be drilled in their heads that you can't overlook this team. So I think Southern main test in this game is focus and last week putting that behind them and just doing what we do best. That's getting out of the quarterback and running the football. So I think we're gonna win. But I think we're gonna win, but it's gonna be tight because TSU plays Southern close all the time. So I think it's gonna be close.
I don't think that's the same Texas Southern team, so I don't think it's gonna be close, man. I know you being modest. I don't think it's gonna be close, man. That line is trash, man. I'm just saying. That offensive line is trash, man. Y'all should be able to have multiple sacks.
If we can get the pressure on the quarterback, then if we can get the pressure on the quarterback, what our line can do, because we got Jason Dumas. He didn't play in that first game, which nobody probably played that first game starter, but they held him out of that game. He played against LSU, got some decent penetration. Jordan Lewis, Trey Lang, all those guys. I think we're gonna dictate the line of scrimmage, and if we can do that, then yeah, we're good to go. But I'm always cautious with Texas Southern because they, for whatever reason, they always hang around against us. So we can get up on them and put them away, then I'll be very happy.
Yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be a must-watch game, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
definitely
think our
gonna be
run game gonna
must-watch.
get us through. Um,
That's why I'm saying I feel like
look
that
out for
might
Gerard Sims, man.
get out of hand because I think that's definitely gonna be a good game, man. But I don't feel like that Gremlin game, man. I think that Gremlin game gonna be pretty good this week too, man.
Yep, it's a rematch of a game that happened in the spring where JSU squeaked by and got Gremlin. So I think Gremlin is out. They seeking for revenge. So everybody's gonna give Jackson State their best run for their money. They gonna look at the come out there, play physical, and try to embarrass us. But I think Gramblin's a pretty good team, man. I know they have a good defense, and if they get their quarterback and the running back, Washington, man, he a dude, man.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Hey, y'all look out for Chance Williams, man. He's a young kid from my hometown. He can carry that ball. He also can catch the ball. He had a pretty decent game against Northwestern. He had a couple good runs against Arkansas State. So that's a guy that could be an X factor in the offense for Grambling too. But this for me is what I want to see. I want to see where Grambling really is, because this is going to be a real test for them. That Jackson State defense is going to be a beast to deal with. And of course, the offense they're gonna do what they do. So I'm more interested to see what Grambling do. And I think this game, win or lose, how they look, I think you'll get a better idea of what kind of team they are.
It's hard to beat Jackson State at home, man. I think our home crowd is going to be a major factor into the game because we probably have one of the hardest atmospheres to play in, man. When you get that vet road rocking, man, over 50,000, man, it's hard to beat us in there.
But see, well, I think the biggest difference this year is Mike Zimmer, man. You see how that defense looked different, man. That defense looked way different than last year. I think Mike Zimmer is definitely the X factor for that defensive unit this year. You see, they was playing zone, then they was go rush forward, then they change it up. Man, last year they was only playing man, but they switching up. They switching it up.
Yeah,
Mike Zimmer is a major,
and that makes a big difference having an NFL guy that can break down the season. He knows where to put guys and how to put guys because, like you say, last season they were more of a just kind of get after you and let our corners make plays because the line gonna make life hell for quarterbacks. They're gonna throw the ball anywhere. So being able to mix that up, it gives people more things to look for. And then you still got guys that can get after the quarterback. So that defense is gonna be tough to solve. Grambling gonna, like I said, they're gonna be in for a war. And like Jamie G say, it's not easy in the vet, man. I've been in there multiple times. It's not easy. Even when they was down, man, you don't go in there and come out, unscathed. So Grambling gonna have to be ready. They're gonna have to strap it up and get out there because it's gonna be a war from the opening whistle.
Man, I want to make this one comment. I know it seemed like all the homecomings this year in Mississippi, everybody's homecoming gonna be on the same weekend as JSU. I know Valley, Alcorn, but Jackson is about to be nuts because I didn't realize that Belhaven, Millsaps, all their homecomings are on the same day as Jackson State. Parking gonna be ridiculous, man.
When is y'all homecoming?
If you don't get there early, you might be parking somewhere down 55, man. I don't know how.
When is y'all homecoming?
October 22nd.
That's the same. Our homecoming the same day.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, man.
I was gonna go to Alcorn for their homecoming, but I looked at the schedule and I'm like, that's our homecoming. I'm not going nowhere. So that it's crazy that they all same day.
Yeah, Millsaps and Belhaven like right across the street from the stadium, and they having their homecomings too. So I know Millsaps parking lot probably is gonna be blocked off for their people. Because like you usually make a couple dollars off for JSU fans by letting them use the parking lot, but this year that parking will be nuts if you don't get there early.
It's a walk. I know it's a walk because I done took that walk a lot of times, man.
But Now's Gotti looked good last game, man. He's looking good, man. I like that body on him, man. He's looking real, ferocious.
Yeah, now
I think he grew.
He playing, man, he playing with a chip on his shoulder, man. He's already at 5 sacks. If he keeps at the way he's going through this season, he might break the JSU single sack record. He's on track to do that.
Yeah, he came a long way, man. Last season, he was always one step away from a sack. Every time you look up, he was back there, but he never got to the quarterback. So he developed, man. He really, put in the work, and it's paying off for him. So, he's a guy that can get back there. He got good speed, got good size, and now he's learning even more. So he's a guy to look out for. He's gonna be, that's a guy gonna be very dangerous as the season go on.
Can I address Mr. Moore comment? I see
go ahead.
Yeah, a comment about Mississippi SWAC fans. He didn't know that we attend each other's homecomings. Like, yeah, I've been to plenty of Alcorn homecomings in the past, man. And then it's a lot of Alcorn people be at JSU homecoming in Valley too. Valley will definitely pull up on the Jackson State homecoming.
Yeah, and that's a Mississippi guy that wrote that comment. So but he's a Jaguar, so he's been a little bit removed from the Mississippi days. But it's a little different here. We don't go up there up north Louisiana for homecoming. We stay down here. They come here though, because half of ground people live in Baton Rouge, so they always the Southern, but it's not reciprocated.
But man, I haven't seen True Thomas. What he's hurt, man? Jamie?
Ooh, that's a good question. I hadn't saw True this season. I'm not actually sure if he. I know he's on the roster, but I hadn't seen him in any games.
And Reagan, he's been looking good too. Reagan been looking good too, man. Reagan.
Yeah, he been stepping up.
Now, said Gaddy's not happy. Wasn't happy last year. Oh yeah. And Hobson looking good too, man. That boy look bad, boy.
Man, has Josh Griffiths been playing?
No, I haven't seen him
any playing time. He been suiting up, but he done. But Charles, he came in late this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't think he came in until June.
I really want to see what he can do because
he don't got no moves though. See, well,
nah,
he really. I
know.
One move.
I'm very familiar with his game, man. I seen him in high school, seen him in college at FSU. So I know he's a guy that he can't get by you right away. He can't really do anything. I was just eager to see him play. He don't look that big though. He look big upper body, man. His legs look small. So hopefully, that defense, man, if you're not playing yet, then it's gonna be tough to get them reps. So,
what about Michael Please, Jamie? I haven't seen Michael Please play any snaps, man.
Please, I think played in the first game. I think he played maybe 2 or 3 snaps.
I seen a little bit of Doyle, but I haven't seen none of Please or none of them.
I know Doyle was in the game too, Antonio Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
I know he made a couple plays in the FAMU game. I mean, Jackson State so loaded, man.
But that boy Willie Gaines, he got some burners on him, boy. He might be from Mississippi. That boy Willie Gaines quick as a rabbit, boy.
Yeah.
They pulling names out of hats, man. I'm like, every time you look up, it's somebody else. It's like, what? Oh my God.
And some of these guys that you mentioned, some of these players on our scout team.
Good Lord.
That's
I
a
mean,
war, man.
You think Shallow comes back and get his job back?
I don't know if Shallow's coming back right away. I think I heard October.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to. I'm sure he's gonna jump in the rotation, but it's gonna be tough, man, because that's a lot of time to give guys chances to get comfortable in that spot. You know,
to be honest, Wes, I don't even see him. I don't see Shallow actually starting when he do come back.
That defense just looked too good, man.
No, it's get in where you fit in, and right now, if you don't fit in, you in trouble.
I like Shallow when it comes to tackling, but Shallow is not great in coverage, man. And he got exposed in that in several games last season. But that, I mean, Shallow might not see the field this season.
I don't think Nuggets gonna work himself back. I think Nuggets done, man. I think Nuggets done.
Yeah, what's the deal with him, man? Y'all, you know anything?
I heard that his dad called into our script show, I think sometime today or so.
Mm-hmm.
And Nugget's good. It's just on Nugget, man. Nugget got to have that discipline, man. He got to be able to come to meetings on time, get to study hall on time, and everything. Man, that dude's a real live baller, bro. Really could be first round talent, but man, they say his practice habits. You know, I mean, that was shown on the documentary last season.
Oh yeah, the NFL ain't have no time for that, man.
Oh no, especially when you don't have any numbers to back it up. You know. And Jamie, you know, me and you, we talked about that. You know, he got talent, but you know he don't have the production for whatever reason. And if you can't get on the field because of stuff you doing, then that you only hurting yourself.
But I don't know if Rod knows this too. I think Nugget has problems. Was he had the problem staying awake sometimes? He had a little epilepsy.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had something going on that he couldn't. He couldn't always. I think he had problems sleeping. So sometimes he would miss things. I remember his dad
like
said that
late at
last
night.
Season.
Yeah, and couldn't sleep, and then he would miss practice. But I don't understand. Me and a coworker talked today. I don't understand why Prime can't pair him up with someone that can get him the everything on time, man. And kind of, because
but that's not his job, though.
Want to see on the field, bro.
That's not his job, though. That's not his job. He can't babysit these boys, man.
Yeah, I think Prime in the position where he can let dudes weed themselves out, and unfortunately, if you need somebody to kind of beat up for you, but at the same time, like you said, it's not up to the coach, it's up to him. And a team that deep, man, you need to, I don't know what it takes, but with a team that deep, man, you can't afford to miss anything because your spot, will be gone because there's a lot of dudes that's hungry, that got talent. So it is not like a lot of teams where, you're the best guy and they got to have you on the field. So, they're going to make that leeway for you. There's dogs all over that team. So you can't miss any time.
And Jamie G, you just reported. I thought I saw your video. They just got a linebacker from Alabama. They keep on bringing in talent.
Yeah, King Mawakata. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know how to pronounce that African name, but they keep on bringing in talent, man. They bringing talent in the regular season.
He was a former 4-star, man. Dude was one of the top linebackers in the country, man. He got some good size. He was like 6'5", 240.
Well, you know what I'm really hoping they get that tight end, man. That tight end with the what's that number? That 5-star tight end that was looking at. I forgot the boy's name.
Oh yeah,
he got a scholarship. Yeah, he got a scholarship everywhere, man. But Tim Brewster, man, that's another X factor, man. That's another X factor, man.
when he motivated, man, Tim Brewster is a dog in recruiting, man. Tim
Oh
Brewster,
my
he
God.
can get out and get it. He motivated at JSU. He is a little bit, kind of going through the motions at Carolina and A&M and all the places, but he's a guy, man. When he want to get out there, he gonna get who he want. So you want him on your staff, and that he's a dog, man. I watched. He helped put together some great teams at FSU. So he's a dog. He definitely gonna make it happen.
But did y'all notice that they moved Michael Pollock down in a as a coach? He's like assistant now. So Tim Brewster could be the tight end coach. Y'all notice that?
Yeah, I think I did see that. And you got to find a spot for a guy like that, man. You cannot, you're gonna bring him in. You need to have him hands on somewhere, and that, he's a game changer. So he just you don't really see a guy that's older and white that can recruit young guys like that. But he got whatever he do, and he know how to work social media. He know how to be active, and he's a go getter. So when JSU hired him, I told people like, man, if they didn't know, I was like, that's a dog, man. They got a good one.
This man developed Antonio Gates and made him a Hall of Famer. Come on.
Yeah, you know better than that.
He had hands
and Kyle Pitts, yep.
Too.
Yeah. So that's a guy, man. You want him on your staff. If you can get a guy like that, man, you never hesitate. You take him and cut him loose. Let him do his thing. Get out his way, let him work, and that's what they're doing, and it's paying off.
But to you, Cwell, do you think these coaches going to try to get some outsiders in the in the programs, man?
I think
coaching wise,
I think people are more open to it because they're seeing the results. A lot of people were real hesitant about bringing in certain guys because they didn't know how it would work out. But I think people seeing what's going on, and the bar is being set really high in Jackson. And if everybody else want to compete, you got to try to match it or at least get close. So if you're gonna do that, then you need to get outside the box and get those kind of guys. Maybe not, they don't necessarily have to be big name guys, but you need guys that got experience on all levels and guys that can recruit. So I think if you want to compete, you're gonna be open to bringing in outside guys because the bar is set. The floor is raising, and if you want to keep up, then you got to compete.
What about you, Jamie? How you feel about it?
I'm loving it right now. You got to think about it. When me and Cwell have been rocking for a long time. Even me and Cwell were talking when we were losing. I've been in when Jackson State was with James Bell, man, and them years were terrible. That was some of the
rough years, man.
That was some rough years, man. And to see JSU flip from being at the bottom of the barrel to the top of the food chain, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving everything Coach Brian and his staff bringing to the table, man. And a lot of people don't realize this hiring was like about 2 years prior to him coming. So it was being planned anyway. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving what he bringing to because we needed a whole culture change, man. Because if we didn't hire the right coach, Jackson State would be at the bottom of the FCS.
Oh, y'all was, and I hate to say it because I on Saturdays I can't stand JSU because I'm a Jag all day, but I need Jackson State to be competitive and winning because that makes it better. JSU has always been winning in my whole life, so that was new to me. But them getting Ashley Robinson, the athletic director, that was the first piece of the puzzle. Man, that dude got Prairie View on track. You know, he's a guy that can do it, and you know he knows what he wants. And the one thing JSU did was they got out the way and let him work, and that led to bringing in Coach Prime and letting him work. So it's just a perfect atmosphere. And for me, I've always said the rest of us, we need to take advantage of that. You know, you need to, you know, get that residual, kind of like when you go out with a dude that get all the women, you kind of hang on the side and pick up the ones that he don't want. So you got to kind of, you know, you got to do the same thing with Prime, man. You know, the guys that he can't bring in because he, you know, he loaded. You need to talk to him and you pick them up because they want to play against JSU. So I think you got to be smart, man. You got to be with it. You don't have to like it, but I think you got to be with it because you're gonna fall behind.
Because at the end of the day, I think the goal, with Prime coming into the SWAC, it's bigger than the SWAC. I think he's looking forward to not just take JSU to FBS. I think he wants the whole SWAC to be FBS. It's big. We trying to get players into the league. You know what I'm saying? We trying to put on a premier program, man. And if everybody take advantage of what's going on, then it's gonna be a positive light on the SWAC, man, because we really have some great athletes coming out this conference. Even Cwell probably could agree to this, man. Like some cats like Rico Richardson, man. We can go back Casey Terrio to your KJ Blacks, man. It was some really good players coming out the SWAC. They just didn't get that shine because people didn't give them, you know, they credit, give them no notice, man.
Yo, Jamie, what happened to Josh Lanier, man? What happened to him at Corbin?
Josh Lanier was playing a little arena ball, and Keith Corbin was with the Buffalo Bills, I think, on the practice squad, but I don't know if he got cut or if he is doing something else. But Lanier was playing arena ball, a little indoor arena league.
I know Antoine Owens was with that the USFL. I wonder if he
right.
He got a ring.
Mm-hmm.
He got a ring with Philadelphia. Yeah,
Philadelphia. Yep.
Yeah, he won. They won a USFL championship. He played a lot. He started basically, so he did good out there, man. I watched a lot of USFL this year, and I was real impressed with his play. That was to me, that was the guy that made that line click last year.
I like the Al Young, but I haven't seen no news about Al Young. CJ Holmes.
CJ Holmes got cut, right?
Oh, he got cut
from the Saints. Yeah, he got. It probably like the second week of camp. CJ Holmes got cut. CJ Holmes was on the sideline hit the Miami game.
I know that tight end got cut too. Richie. I know he got cut too. Richie.
Yeah, Richie got cut too.
Yeah, Colin Richie.
Go ahead, Cwell.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Warren Newman, he was in Canada, wasn't
he? Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, he's still on. I think he's still in Canada.
That's a guy, man. That's a playmaker. I remember when he was the only playmaker at Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Gino.
Yeah. Real talk, Rod. It used to be guys. I used to walk up to guys before Prime come there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, how we gonna? What we gonna do this? Yeah, they be like, I guess we gonna win, man. Like they really didn't have no pride about themselves, man. And it was sad.
Bro, let me tell you, man. I always love playing Jackson State because they talk a lot of noise and they love to sit by you. And we, I think it was not last year, but the year before. Last time we played them at home, they were still kind of in that down period. And they had a JSU guy sitting right next to me. So I'm talking. And he said something that I never heard a JSU person say. He was like, well, at least we're going to win halftime. I was like, bro,
what?
You from Jackson State. You ain't supposed to say that. That was in 2018. I was like, man, you ain't supposed to say that. Y'all supposed to talk trash about the game, man. You worry about halftime? I said, y'all fell off, man. I said,
Was that that year when it rained before the game?
No, I think that was the year before when in Jackson it rained.
Yeah, it rained like it
The
was a
game was in Baton
tsunami
Rouge.
before the game.
Yeah, that was that game, man. Y'all switched to the option before the game. Y'all had Harold Jackson was the coach.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Coach Jackson, man. That was a real cool guy, but he just couldn't coach.
He just was in over his head, man. He was like
too old, man. It was past time, you know.
He was just lit in over his head, man. A lot of people don't realize how tough it is to coach though.
But really, a truly character guy, man. I actually met him and talked to him. That dude was a really cool guy, man. Really approachable. He knew the game. I don't think he had the right coaches around him, too, at that time.
But you know, everybody not built for that driver's seat, man. You know, a lot of guys know the game, but everybody not built to be a head coach. He might not have that just might not have been his role.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Man, I feel like there's a couple players that stock is going down, man. How do y'all feel about that? The draft stock, man. Kamari Everett, I don't feel like, man, his stock went down, man. And you feel like he's not into it. What y'all think about that?
They won't get on the ball. So I don't know if he could have left before this season. So I don't know if he having remorse for coming back. Mm-hmm. But they're not getting on the ball. And like you said, I don't know if he is engaged in the game, but that's a guy I say he was if not the best, was one of the best tight ends in FCS, and he not playing like it right now. So yeah, his stock is dropping because he's not getting any play really, you know.
I kind of agree with Cwell. I mean, Jalen Jones he's a great athlete, but I don't think they're gonna win with him at quarterback.
They was playing with Water Boys though, Jamie.
Kind of messed up.
Jamie, they was playing with Water Boys last year. So it was playing with Water Boys last year. So so I feel like, man, he feel like he's not into it, man. I don't see him run his routes hard. Maybe I'm looking at it, man, but I feel like there's something going on with him, man.
You never know. You know, they change coordinators and all of that. You like I said, you just don't know. Maybe he not interested. Maybe, like I said, maybe he regret coming back. But you know, you here, you need to play. You need to do what you need to do because you say your money is dropping fast. So you running out of opportunities. You're already 2 games into the season. You got 9 left. You need to put on a show somewhere.
I feel that way about a duel too. A duel at A&M. Xavier losing money, man. With that play calling, it's a lot of people, man. Losing money, man.
Been invisible. Nobody did anything against UAB, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. But last week he did. I don't think he really did too much in the last game. But that's the guy you need to feed the ball to. You know, he can catch it, man. He can catch. He can run. You know, you need to put the ball in his hands. And like you say, Xavier Smith, he got to make some plays. You know, he caught like 10 passes the other game, so he gonna eat because they don't want to throw the ball to nobody else. So his numbers gonna have to go up just because sheer volume.
Also, CJ Bowler too, man. JSU fucked this tape up. You know what I mean? JSU fucked this tape up. Like JSU, you let Shane Hooks box you out in the end zone and called on you. You know what I mean? You didn't even try. You know what I mean? I feel like, man, his tape messed up. What's that DN they got? What's that DN?
Oh, Land.
Land and his tape looking messed up. He might have to go to USFL. He might, you know what I mean? This how bad he missed his opportunity with the Carolina game. That was his his last chance to get some good tape, man, against good competition.
Yeah,
and Jackson State stunk up the place.
He made no plays against JSU. Might have made one, but you know that Carolina game, though, you know, I'm not a big fan of playing Power 5 teams, but when you play them, you know that's your chance to shine. Win or lose, that's your chance to put out some effort and put some attention on yourself. And you know he missed a good opportunity. You know, a couple of sacks, couple quarterback hurries or something like that. You know, people gonna look out for you. So you know that was a big missed opportunity, like you said.
But Jamie, you know what game I wish Jackson State could play again, man? ULM. I feel like they could definitely blow them motherfuckers out this year. With all that talent they got, man, they blow them out.
Should have beat them last year.
I'm definitely
should have beat them last year.
I'm looking forward to that Campbell game. I really want to see how a team goes against a quality opponent, and then it's gonna be a homecoming.
Yeah, I'm watching Campbell close, man. They took a nice loss to William and Mary this weekend, so that I'm interested to see how they play.
But Cwell, you know what I feel bad about, man? Morgan. This still hurts me, man, to this day. They fumbled the bag, man. They should have got Ray Lewis in there, man.
Yeah,
they fumbled the bag. Could you imagine
that
Ray Lewis?
A nice move for him.
Ray Lewis getting sponsored by the Ravens. You know what I mean? All that Miami talent he could have got up in there. The top recruits would have came, especially had Ed Reed as the defensive coordinator. It'd been over with.
Yeah, that was.
It's hard to recruit in Maryland, man. It's hard to recruit.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, when you got a guy that want to be there, you know, I think you gotta exhaust every option, man. I think, you know, I don't know how they handle their coaching search, but you know, I think you need to open every door and see what's behind it, man. Because you don't want to, like you say, you don't want to miss an opportunity, you know, that's beneficial for you and your program. So, you know, I think, you know, those kind of guys, if they want to be there, I think you got to give them a shot.
Man, I really hope this Hugh Jackson situation goes good for the Grambling, but I have a feeling like this ain't gonna end well, man. That first week showed me some things, that play calling, and I don't think it's gonna end well this week, man. And the rest of the season, they got some good tight ends. They got some big wide receivers. I mean, they got some real big wide receivers. They got a good running back play, but I feel like Hugh Jackson's gonna mess it up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna find out what they made of this week. You know, this is the litmus test. I wouldn't want to come into this game, you know, with one bad performance. They look good last week, but they look good in the first half. Second half, they didn't play that well. I'm glad they won, because if they had came into that game at 0-2, I would have said they had no chance. I mean, I still personally don't think they have much of a chance, but you know, I just don't know, man. Like you said, I'm still questioning a few things with them, but you know, you're gonna find out what you made of. But like I keep saying, lucky for them, even though it's a SWAC game, it don't count in the standings because they scheduled this as a non-conference game, so they could take that L and still be in good position in the standings.
Well, we can't take no L, because the second we take an L, social media and the whole world comes.
Oh, it's gonna be a wrap.
It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? But for our thing, we have to win all our games, man. I guess we done set a standard. You know what I'm saying? It's win SWAC championship celebration bowl or bust, man.
Hey, Jamie G, you know, if y'all lose this game, you know who's going to blow y'all up. I ain't going to say his name, but you already know the boogeyman going to get y'all.
Oh, you talking about Script?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you already know. But Script, I think Script's, to me, I feel like Script was slick JSU fan, man. I think he pulling for him. He just ain't gonna wait. Because when we win, it makes him look good. But it like Cwell said though, when JSU winning, the whole SWAC winning. You know, when Southern winning, the SWAC winning. You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully this year, I hope it's a Jackson State, either Jackson State Southern championship or Jackson State Alcorn championship.
That's where your money at.
And that's where your money is. You know what I'm saying?
Where your money at.
But in Jackson State, they can't afford to lose not one game because say if we was to go, run through the SWAC, get to that last game, Alcorn had lost a game in a SWAC and lose it in a reservation, that means we had to come back to the reservation and win again. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to go down there when it's SWAC championship.
Trust me, as a fan of a team that had to go there 2 years in a row and lose, you don't want to go. You don't want to go to Alcorn with something on the line, man. It's tough. I keep saying it, man. It's tough on that reservation. Your cell phone don't work up there. It's hard to get there. Man, it's back off in the woods. It's tough back there.
Let me ask you this, see. Out of them first two games down there, Alcorn, which was the best atmosphere?
I think the first one had the better. Well, they both were great, but I think the first one had the really craziest atmosphere because that was the first year they played the SWAC championship at a school. So, and it was Southern and Alcorn. I think it was just a great. I think it was just a great atmosphere. It was packed. Southern was on a roll coming into that game. Alcorn was playing well. I have seen so many Alcorn people at the Bayou Classic the week before. Man, it was crazy. All the dudes in front of me were talking plenty of trash. So they couldn't wait for us to come back there the next week. So I think the first one had the better atmosphere, but I think the second one was the better game because our team was so much better. We turned the ball over 7 times. You're not gonna beat nobody with 7 turnovers.
But I think the premier matchup is going to be Jackson State and Southern because we could be 0-5, Southern could be 0-5. They play us like it's the Super Bowl. To be honest, I feel like Jackson State Southern is the Super Bowl of the SWAC. If you ever get a chance to come to that game, you should come. The atmosphere is bananas, bro.
Yes.
Southern pulls up like on Wednesday, bro, and can't camp out in Jackson. Like, really?
I mean, because we got a lot of Mississippi people at Southern. And then Mississippi and Louisiana, right there, we 2.5 hours apart. I got a lot of family went to J State, so it's always gonna be on, regardless of of like Jamie G say, regardless of the record, it's gonna be on. So it's always gonna be full. Tailgating gonna be top notch. Everything is on point. So I love it, man. I love going to Jackson because I know those are people. They gonna they sit on both sides of the stadium, so you don't be like, oh, this is our side, that's your side. They sit everywhere, so you gonna probably be sitting next to some of them, and you better be ready to talk because they like to talk. Don't be shy because they gonna talk, and that's why I love Jackson because they talk, and I like to talk. At a game, I talk plenty of noise, so I need somebody sitting by me that can give it and take it. So I love to go to Jackson because I'm talking all game long. So I love it.
It's the best smelling tailgate too. You talk about the jambalaya, the pasta liar, the shrimp, the crab balls, the fish smelling, the shrimp. That's probably the best tailgate experience. Period. When we play Southern, man. And then Southern, we might talk a lot of stuff in the stands, but it's all love though. It's always we all family, man. At the end of the game.
Yeah. like I say, man, it's intermingled, man. It's so many. I know a lot of Southern people from Jackson. I know a lot of Jackson people from Baton Rouge. You know, it's just, you know, you always gonna have that mix, and you know, when you get together, it's gonna get heated, but it's all love. So at the end of the day, we go back outside and we party some more.
For the people in the chat, man, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, man. I appreciate it. Oh man, how
Yeah,
do you
man, y'all
feel
make
about
sure
the
y'all
MEAC,
subscribe,
man?
man.
How do y'all feel about the
I think
MEAC
it'll be
right now?
interesting. North Carolina Central looking good. I think they're looking pretty good. They might challenge South Carolina State. I think it's gonna be between them two.
I'm pulling for Norfolk State, man. You know why? I feel like Big Worm left the swag in. I ain't get my lip back. Coach Odom, you know, that's my guy, man. That's probably one of my favorite coaches, man. And I want my lick back, man. You can't slide out the swag out with my lick.
Hey, he took that last win and ran, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, whatever happened with that situation with that scandal, man? Did they resolve that?
I hadn't heard nothing else about it. I hadn't heard nothing else about that, man.
That's been just
I think they swept it under the rug.
Okay.
I try to keep tabs on it, you know. Out of respect for Coach Odoms, I wanted to know what was going on, but after it came out, I didn't hear nothing else. So I'm gonna have to still keep my ears to the ground and see if I hear anything.
Yeah, that's kind of strange because knowing Coach Odoms, man, Coach Odoms was a stand-up cat, man, and I just can't believe all that was going on, and he didn't do nothing about it.
He don't. Yeah, the way he run his program, I was real surprised to hear that kind of stuff because he's a disciplinarian, but he's not a guy that like just overruns his guys, but he runs his program like step, and you're gonna do what he wants you to do. So I was really surprised at that, man. I couldn't believe when I heard that because he ran a clean program here. Dudes practiced 6 a.m. and so he didn't play.
I really want to see Jackson State versus South Carolina State again, man. I feel like we got the best chance right now. The Kobe Durant is not there no more. The trenches is better, still good with Javoski, but I feel like that secondary, we could test that secondary this year.
Honestly, when I think about that game, I just talked to several people. They said JSU took them dudes lightly, man, when they came into that game.
Man, everybody took them. Everybody took South Carolina State lightly. I took them lightly. Man, you know, I was like, man, it's 34-10 JSU, man. South Carolina State don't stand a chance. And they really were on the verge of being put out of their game early, but you know, they forced some turnovers in the red zone and was able to score off of them. That was the turning point of the game. You know, like I said, you turn the ball over inside your own 20, anybody should score in that position. And they, a couple scores added up, they got a little confidence, and the tables turned. Because I know I was like, I'm normally not that kind of person, but I was like, this ain't really gonna be a game. But they took it personal.
I think Corey Davis is holding them back, man. I something about him. He looks bad this year, man. He looks bad.
Oh yeah, he didn't look good against Bethune-Cookman. They offense. That's the thing. Their offense is not. The one thing about Buddy is they gonna run the football and they're gonna play defense. He always been that way, and he not gonna change. So coming into that game, you need to strap up and be ready because they're not gonna do nothing fancy on offense at all. So you just need to be ready because they coming directly at you, and they gonna do what they gotta do. So if you can get ahead of them, then you got a real good chance of winning because they can't play catch up.
I think your boy Edwin Moore said Coach Oldham wasn't for that. He said he took care of it behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, like knowing him, and I've talked to him personally, not like friends personally, but I talked to him a few times, man. And he's a guy about his business, and he not he not gonna play that kind of stuff. He's not gonna let that kind of stuff sit on his program like that. So I'm sure he did whatever it is that needed to be done, but I just was surprised that it just disappeared.
But man, what y'all got coming up this week, man? Before we get out of here,
I'll let Jamie G go first.
Well, later on this, probably if it's not tonight or maybe tomorrow night, I'm going to drop my week 2 helmet stickers for the players of the week, man. I'm coming up with that video. Also, I'll probably do a preview for the week 3, some key matchups and everything like that. So look out for some more videos and content from me. And definitely if somebody mess up, I always come with the roast short.
Oh, he do. he come with that.
It's comedy. If somebody come correct, you're gonna get roasted.
Where can it get you at, man? What's your channel information? What's your social media? You gotta tell them that, man, Jamie G.
Yeah. My you can catch me on Facebook, James Sanders. My channel is No Slack in the Swag Podcast on YouTube, Instagram. I'm actually on Instagram on No Slack Podcast on Instagram, and also Twitter. Too Deep for the Intro. The number 2 DEEP FODAINTROW on Twitter.
Well,
what about you, Cwell?
Wednesday, my week 3 preview. Thursday is Swag Smoke. That's live show. Thursday live 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sunday is week 3 recap. And I probably, depending on how I'm feeling, I might drop something in the middle of the week. But those are my pretty much my regular things. You can catch me on Facebook at Swac Talk. That's one word, SWACTALK. Instagram is the same, Twitter, Swac Talk 76. And my channel is Swac Talk Show on YouTube, man. Hey, make sure we're marching on our way to 1K. So we just crossed 725. So we getting there, man. Got a nice little audience building, and we just growing. So
I'm just trying to march to 35. I'm trying to march to 35.
Now you doing it, man. You doing some great content. Because I was at 24 last week, and I'm at 36 now. So I've picked up quite a few subscribers since I've been back dropping my content. I took a kind of a personal break because I had a tragedy in my family, but I'm back at it, man. I'm on focus this year.
Yeah, like I say, man, that first 100 is always the toughest, man. Once you get to 50, 30, 50, set them little goals like that, it's gonna come, man. Like I said, you're doing some good work here, man. I appreciate you. Like I said last time, I appreciate you reaching out, and that's what it's all about, man. Just kind of making it happen. You'll get wherever you want to go.
I appreciate you, Rod, bringing me on. Much love, man. I'm looking forward to doing more shows with you, man. Anytime you want to do something, just feel free to hit me up, man.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
1,000 too.
I'm trying to hit at least 35. That's all I'm trying.
Hey, you gonna get there. And if Jamie G here, bro, I'm here. So you ain't even got to. If you got him, just let me know. I'm there for sure. That's my boy. We rock together. But hey, like I said before, anytime you want to collab, man, hit me up. I'm gonna try to get at you about coming on my show a couple of times, man. We trying to do some different things. We always in the works of trying some things. So I'm gonna definitely hit you up. Maybe we could work a couple of things out with my end of it.
I appreciate
Definitely,
that.
see Wells. We got to get us a show.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, my schedule's starting to open up a little bit, man. So I'll talk to you about it. But we hey, I'm down. We just gotta find a way and a time. We'll make it happen.
We got to get a Southern and JSU show, bro. Hey,
Boombox Week, we doing that for sure. So
right.
Pay your calendar, man. I'm gonna definitely hit you up.
All right, I appreciate y'all coming on the Midday Sports with Rod and the Lunch Crew. Y'all have a good weekend, man, and a week, man. I appreciate y'all coming on, man.
I appreciate
you. No problem, man. Thank you.
Content, bro.
Yeah, you're doing your thing, man. Keep on doing what you're doing.